Well, it all starts when you have a bleed. When that happens, a process called hemostasis, which means the stopping of blood, takes place. This occurs in three steps. Step 1, vasoconstriction, in which the blood vessels narrow and contract to lower blood flow towards the bleed. Step 2, temporary platelet block, also known as primary hemostasis, in which the platelets form a barrier around the opening to prevent any more blood from escaping. However, this barrier cannot stay in place without the third step, coagulation. Coagulation is also known as secondary hemostasis and is when the blood is clotted with the help of the 13 clotting factors. This is where the problem with hemophilia arises, as the lack of any of the clotting factors can cause a delay in the clotting process.
That explains a lot, thank you. Since I assume this is a chronic disease, what are some of the things I should be more worried about in the future? I'm sure I'm going to need to make some lifestyle changes.
As you said, this is a lifelong condition, so you're going to have to make some changes. Some symptoms of hemophilia are bruising easily, prolonged bleeding, oozing after tooth extraction, gastrointestinal bleeding, blood in urine, severe nosebleeds, bleeding into joint spaces, bleeding into brain, and increased intracranial pressure. However, all symptoms depend on the severity of the mutation, and thankfully yours doesn't seem to be too severe, as it hasn't caused much of an issue until today.
Some changes we recommend you make are brushing, flossing, and visiting a dentist on a regular basis, avoiding close contact sports and instead playing sports such as golf, swimming, badminton, biking, and table tennis, not taking medicines that may limit or disable platelets, and making sure to take your regular treatment on top of avoiding sharp objects and being careful of your surroundings.
That's all good to know. You mentioned treatment at the end. Is hemophilia treatable or curable?
Although there is no cure, there is still hope for people with hemophilia. Several different types of clotting factors are associated with different varieties of hemophilia. The main treatment for severe hemophilia revolves receiving replacement of the specific clotting factor that you need through a tube placed in the vein.
Another therapy is desmopressin. In some forms of mild hemophilia, this hormone can stimulate your body to release more clotting factor. It can be injected slowly into a vein or provided as a nasal spray. In addition to this, there are also some medicine known as clot-preserving medications. These medications help prevent clots from breaking down, speeding up the healing process.
We recommend a combination of both of these medicines for you as your hemophilia isn't too severe. However, we must ensure that accidents like this aren't fatal in the future.
Now that I'm armed with all of this knowledge, I feel ready to properly handle this disease. I think I'm also going to get the rest of my family tested to make sure they don't have it too. Thank you so much, Dr. Cam and Ray.